Welcome at Painting at School, Lesson 21. In this lesson we create a kind of color laboratory. So we do a lot of experiences with colors. We start with a range of questions. So you have to look around in your own environment, in your own school or at home, to look after things, objects with colors. And there we have a lot of questions about. It's about your own experience, your own observations, and you can write down. So we can make kind of a book, a main lesson book out of it. So just let's start with the first questions. So we have here in the studio a kind of color laboratorium, and the main goal is that the students from grade 6, maybe students up to 80 years, can do their experiences and answer the many questions in this lesson. So it's by observation, by own research, and especially look for examples in the own environment. At home, to your clothes, your furniture, things you have at home or at school or in the neighborhood. So there are a lot of questions you can think about and describe in a main lesson book. So to collect the things so we understand better the color and the color theory and integrate this experience, this knowledge in your own day life. We go to the first question, and that is, what is your favorite color? And maybe you know, why is it your favorite color? Then, if you look at the colors of your clothes, of your furniture, at your room, at home, is there a color especially which is a lot to see? You see a lot of these colors at home. Is that also your favorite? We know why is this color in the rooms. And can you describe shortly a color experience? Maybe it was in a museum or in your neighborhood or maybe at home, as I have hanging this one in my room. As the sun is shining, you have lovely colors around your room. If it is turning around, you will see. And is there a special painting you like because of the colors? So you can answer these in a book and gather them together. Okay, and now especially we want to look at yellow. But it could also be red or blue or purple. I just take the example of yellow this time. So look at the color yellow and describe, write down the words you are thinking of. And if you have written down a lot of words, you can put them in certain ranges. First, you have maybe a noun that you have written down: the sun, a banana, the beach. Yeah, that's a noun. Or you have described a verb, a form of a verb. Yellow is radiating, so a kind of activity. Or you have written down a mood which is connected with yellow, like happiness, for instance. So try to make 3 ranges of words, and the most interesting one is about these verbs, because that's the activity of this color. Try to find as many as you can find by yourself, or you work in these exercises together with another student or in a small team. It's about yellow. And is it possible to write down a small poem about yellow, in which you express the color yellow? And then you can maybe make with colored pencils a patch of yellow and try to make this radiating by using some red and some blue. For example, this one. You can do it in soft tones in your own way. And if you are busy in your book, this is one of the students made. There's a Van Gogh painting in yellow. There's the poem. Here are the words, and it's a tryout of the radiating yellow. So we can put this together. Now we can do a kind of research about yellow between light and darkness. So you have, for instance, with color pencil, you go from white into the darkness, and then you put yellow in it. And then you see that this very light connection from the white into the yellow, and a long way to come into the darkness. Maybe later it's interesting to do the same with the blue one. Easy going here, more difficult here, or even with the red. But we concentrate, we focus at yellow now. So the yellow one between the light and the darkness. Can we find the color yellow using in advertising, in logos of firms, banks, or whatever? Because they use the quality of yellow to express the essence of them firm. I will show you some other examples, just not yellow, but more the orange or the red, and I think you know them. Here we have, with the red, or the more orange logo, a blue one, and a Dutch bank organization, which has two colors in it. You will find in newspapers or somehow some examples in advertising this expression of colors used in the commercial world. Then you can make a drawing of a piece of cloth, of a garment in yellow. How does it look like, this one? Then we will look at the borders of yellow. At one side we go into the red direction and the other one into the green one. So it can look like this. You come from one side more to the red, or the other side more to the green. And if you should do this with more colors, you can have a circle. like you find in the book Painting at School, this experience of all these pieces together. This was about the yellow slowly going into the green, into the golden yellow, orange and red. Just try it out. Is there maybe a painting in which you see yellow connected with a season? So there's a lot of yellow into it. And I have an example with me. This is hanging at home normally. I take away this yellow and you see a piece of wood, and there are many places which are connected with the yellow colors, and it gives a certain mood into the whole painting. Try to find an example in a painting in a certain season with the color yellow. And then you can find in art history some other paintings in which you see special a place with yellow in it. And I have two examples. In this figure, the yellow is boundaries, so it's not so radiating. It's quite special to have yellow in such a way. And another painting that the yellow is everywhere. It's a basic color. Try to find some examples in which you see a lot of yellow, that yellow is used in. Do you maybe know a song about yellow? Or you have the feeling, well, this is the mood of yellow I find back in this song. There are even songs who are called with the name Yellow. Imagine you are in a yellow room. All the walls are yellow. What is your impression of it? How should you feel in this yellow room? Try to describe. So you see, there are a lot of experience you have to do in this lesson. And can you find some historical facts about yellow? Where yellow in former times was used, or yellow had a special place in the culture. And if we go to a piece of yellow wool, it is interesting, how can you paint wool to get it yellow? And I give you one example that maybe you can try out. If you have an onion, you take these off, you cook it together, you get a yellow color out of it. So there are more possibilities to produce yellow by yourself. And now you need a piece of clay and make a figure out of it with the expression of yellow. How will it look like? And if you look in art history, you find also figures, statues which are expressing yellow. I show you just the other side, the expression of blue. Giacometti was one of these artists who make these very long figures. I think that's very blue, expression of blue, maybe of loneliness in the mood. And then you can find in the newspaper, in pictures, is that something, an expression of the color yellow. I show you just another one, just a blue one, as an example. It's very special, not only the clothes, but just the whole concentration, with a lot of knowledge at the blackboard, so the whole atmosphere is blue. Can you find a picture which is in relationship with the yellow? And then interesting, at last, gather some objects, put them together, make a kind of drawing out of it, a composition of all the things at home or at school which are yellow. Put them together. And you will see, suddenly you look in another way around in your house, in your room. Hey, that's yellow. Put it on the table and put other things together. So we have done about 20 exercises about one color to research how it works, the expression of this color. You could do the same with the red, or as I show you already, examples of blue, purple, orange or green, whatever you wish. Try to integrate your experience in your day life and be more and more aware of these colors in your environment. Now we will do some experiences with complementary colors. So we just take a piece of paper, and I have an orange one. I make a patch on it. And then you look about 20 seconds to this color. You move your eyes here and you see the complementary color. Or you look at a white wall, you will see the complementary color. Or if you look in your hand, or even you close your eyes, you will see. Then you try to find a colored pencil to draw this color you have seen. The second is, you make it a little bit more complicated. At another paper, you take two. I keep this one. I put this blue-green size of it. And I do the same experience. So everything you see as complementary color, you make a drawing here. Interesting to see both. And you can do it with a third one. And do the same experience. Of course, very interesting if you have all the colors. You can make a drawing out of this. You concentrate, focus 20 seconds in the center, and then you will see not only black and white as white and black, but also all the complementary. So you make there a drawing out of it. And then you can find in art history, on paintings or sculptures, artists who use these complementary colors. And I found these interesting. A red dog of Keith Haring, metal, put on the green grass. And here you have also red and green together. Or in a violet, purple, basic color, you see the yellow flowers in it. And maybe you can find at home or somewhere an object. I found this very old Chinese plate. Very interesting. How it's a combination of the complementary colors blue and orange. So try to find as many examples in which an artist has used these complementary colors. Now we will do some experiences with black and white, black before white, white before black, darkness before light, light before darkness. And we can first make a color circle and see where the darkness is at the blue-purple side and the light is at the yellow-orange side. For this first experience, light before darkness, we need a glass aquarium and put some milk in it. And I show you in a short video what happens if you put a little bit milk in it. Then we have our pens. Maybe you remember from the video about color theory of Goethe. Put it on the light, strong light, and put also some milk in it. And then we have the other one, the black one. Also put a little bit milk in it and you see two different colors in it. And then we have, of course, the beautiful ones of the sunrise and the sunset, or even the moonrise. The moonrise in this special color. As an example, there is a look into the light and there is a kind of darkness in front of the moonlight. And you get this red. As we have done it in this way, you can make pictures of yourself out of this. Here the sunset or sunrise, and on the other side the blue, the light before the darkness of the cosmic. I think you remember these from Goethe's color theory. And you find it together in the flames. At one side in the candlelight and the other side in the gas light. And you can make beautiful paintings out of these to show this bluish and this reddish orange light. And at the other side, from the blue down in the gas light, the gas flame with the red up. So you can make nice paintings out of that. And at last we show in a short video the colored shadows. So you put a strong colored light on an object and you have a black shadow. But then you put some light, some white light, yellowish light, or even daylight on the shadow, and you will see suddenly the shadow becomes a color. And in this video we go through all the colors, so you see all kinds of colors in this shadow. So and now if you look back at the video about Goethe's color theory, you can do the experiences with the prism, looking through the prism, also about light and darkness. And I think if you go through this video, you can make even more experiences by yourself. So this is a whole lesson, could be main lessons, could be a range of lessons about color. So it was meant to be a kind of a color laboratorium. You work in teams or you work at your own. Just find out and enjoy colors. The end of the video is of course between the bulbs, between the tulips of Holland with all their lovely colors. Enjoy it!